Hi, it's Cammy. Charlie talks football.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. So today we're going to be talking about potential replacements for Tonali because as you know, Tonali has got a 10-month ban, meaning he won't be back until late August. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he can start training in April.
I think it is after,
right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so anyway, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to get your comments down below. Leave a like as always. Thanks for all the support on the recent videos. They've been fantastic. So anyway, guys, let's get into the video. So, like I said, as you know, Tonali has picked up a 10-month ban, meaning that it's Newcastle's priority to try and get a midfielder in January. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing all of the players who Newcastle are potentially going to be looking at and have been linked to Newcastle. So the first player who's been linked to Newcastle a lot is Phillips. Now, he joined Man City from Leeds, and he hasn't really had as much game time as he wanted. He said he wants to get more game time so he can get in the England squad and get more game time for England. But he already gets a lot more game time for England as well. So my thoughts on this, to be honest, I think he would be a good player. I think just the concern is that he hasn't really played many games.
Mm-hmm. I think he's a really good player, and obviously he was done really well under Leeds, and that's why Man City bought him. But he hasn't had much game time with Man City, and a player his age, I think he's 27-year-old, he needs to be playing regular football as well for his international, but to develop as a player. So personally, I think he'd be a really good signing for it. I think Howe would improve him, and I think he'd be a great replacement. He's a different type of player to Tonali, but I think he'd be a really good player to have at the team. So I'd be happy if we went out and got him. Would we buy him? Would we get him on loan? It'd probably be a permanent deal, I would think, or maybe he's a loan until the end of the season with an obligation to buy. But he's 27. He's English. He's got Premier League experience. So for me, he ticks a lot of boxes.
I think the thing that worries me is his fitness, because when Anthony Gordon came into Newcastle, he said he didn't realise how unfit he actually was. So I think that's what my main concern is about Phillips, is that it would take him so long to get back his fitness, in my opinion, just because he hasn't played that much for Man City. I know he plays quite a lot for England, but I think it would take him a while to get up to the fitness that Eddie Howe wants him to be. So personally for me, I think I would take him as a short-term replacement, but I think there's probably better targets out there that we could go for. I think what do you think about fitness? Because I think
he'd be fine.
That's what concerns me.
It's just match fitness, and he'd get that within playing a few games. And you've got to think he's experienced. He's experienced in the Premier League, so that's really good. So I don't see that being a problem.
And I think as well, I see the price as being a problem because Man City invested a lot of money on Phillips, so they're going to want to try and make that money back. So it's been reported that they want around 40 million, which I wouldn't pay that amount of money.
And again, you've got financial fair play, so Newcastle might prefer a loan deal, mightn't they? So we'll have to wait and see for that one.
Yeah, I think a loan deal would probably make more sense, but the next player, now this one's very interesting because it's Ruben Neves. Now, as you know, he used to play for Wolves. He was one of the best free kick takers in the league. And then, of course, he joined Al Hilal.
Yes, Al Hilal, that's right,
But he joined them, and this would be interesting because, of course, Newcastle's owners' connections to the Saudi League. So it has been reported by Sky Sports that we could potentially try and get Ruben Neves on loan. But I think this one, I would love him.
Yeah, I think he's 26-year-old. He's Portuguese. He's technically phenomenal player,
Yeah.
and he's great on set pieces. He's got great vision and passing, and he would complement our midfield so well. He'd give away a different dimension. He would be really exciting, wouldn't he, Charlie?
Yeah, but it's interesting to see because I think a lot of the other clubs would not be very happy with Newcastle,
especially if it was a
doing
loan
that.
deal. I mean, because of the links there. But we'll just have to wait and see. He'll be on massive wages, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia, so would Newcastle match them wages? Because they'd probably have to smash the wage structure. But could there be a deal done for a loan where they pay a certain percentage of his wages? But he'd be a great one to have at the club.
So I just want to ask if you could rate this transfer out of 10 of how likely it is for it to happen. What would you say?
For Neves, I would say maybe 7.
I'd say 6, to be honest. I don't think it will happen. I'll mention now for the Calvin Phillips transfer, I think that's probably the most likely transfer to happen. I would give that an 8.
Yeah, I agree. 8 for that one.
So let's go on to the next player now. This is again another player who is playing in the Saudi League, N'Golo Kante. Now, we haven't actually been linked to Kante as strongly as we have with Neves and Phillips, but these links have sort of just came out over the past few weeks now. I would love Kante. I mean, he's a hard worker. He's a brilliant player. Of course, the same problems would be, like we said, for Ruben Neves. He'll of course be getting paid an awful lot of money in Saudi Arabia. But knowing Kante, I think he would probably take a pay cut just to come back to the Premier League. But he's just incredible, isn't he?
I think with Kante, though, I think it would be a short-term option because he's 32 years old. So he's the oldest out of all the 4 players we're going to mention here today. But, you know, when he was at Leicester, he was excellent. When he was at Chelsea, he was really, really good. You know, he senses danger. He covers the pitch quickly. He breaks up the play and he can drive forward. So he would be a really good player.
The only concern, one of the main concerns would probably be injuries because his injury record at Chelsea, you know, wasn't great. He seemed to pick up a lot of injuries, but overall, I mean, he would be perfect. Like, imagine just being able to get him for like a year loan
or even like till the end of the season. It would be great, wouldn't it? You know, he'd be a great player.
So guys, what are your thoughts on these players we've mentioned as well? Now, I just wanted to ask you, Dad, do you think Newcastle should 100% prioritise a midfielder in January?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we could do with a centre half, potentially a left back and a forward. But it's what's the priority and how much have we got to spend? Those are the key things. So you identify your priority and then you go for that. But there's one player we forgot to mention, Charlie, and that is who we're being linked to is Smith Rowe from Arsenal. What do you think of him?
Well, Smith Rowe, it's an interesting one because I still think he's a fantastic player. And, you know, he's got fantastic qualities. But Arsenal, you know, they've got a very good team, lots of good players. So he sort of struggled to get as much game time as he wanted to. But I think he would be a really good signing. Yeah. But again, it's the price again.
And would they be willing to do business with us, Arsenal? I mean, he's the youngest of the 4 players we've mentioned. But I think he's 23-year-old. But when he sort of broke into the Arsenal team, he's very dynamic, carries the ball, dribbles, scores goals. And Arsenal have strengthened the team, and he's sort of not getting much of a look in, is he? He gets the odd minutes here and there, but, you know, he would be a really good player because he's young and he's a type of player Howe likes to work with, to develop and improve. So, and he would be exciting for us.
And I think as well, I totally agree what you're saying. If Smith Rowe was to come in, I think it would more likely to be a loan deal. Yeah. But I think as well, like you said, Eddie Howe will improve him. We know Eddie Howe's got a fantastic record of, you know, signing players and improving them. You know, we've seen what sort of happened with players like Miggy, Jamal Lascelles, Joe Linton, players who he's completely transformed since he's came into the club. But yeah, the Tonali stuff, it's really frustrating because, you know, it's such a big blow to lose a player that is, you know, so important to the club. But hopefully Tonali can come back and be raring to go. But I just wanted to quickly finally touch on this. Do you think Newcastle will sue AC Milan?
It all depends if they can prove that AC Milan were aware of that he had this looming over him. So if they can prove that, then I suppose the lower team at Newcastle will look at it, and but they would have to prove that, wouldn't they?
So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. We just thought we'd come on here today and discuss all these players who could be potential replacements for Sandro Tonali. Make sure to like and subscribe. Get your comments down below as well.
Let us know which players you would sign to replace Tonali.
Yeah, do you think, let us know as well which players you think is the most likeliest possibility of Newcastle signing as well. Thanks for all the recent support on the videos as always.
Yes.
We've had fantastic support. We've got the Manchester United game coming up on Wednesday as well. Be interesting to see who Eddie Howe starts. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.